You know, I have seen lots of chokes in my days. I've seen a team fall apart during my years of watching sports. I've seen the Knicks do it. I've seen my Jets do it. I've even seen the Yankees have done it, but not as much as most of the teams I have followed. This is going to go down as one of the worst choke jobs I think I've ever seen a team does. And it's not even because of the fact they lost, it's because the players who play for that team have basically handed another team to win by their lack of discipline. I'm referring to the Pittsburgh Steelers Cincinnati game, and I'll tell you right now, the only people I really do feel sorry for was the thousands of fans watching their team on TV and on live in that arena. It was just an unbelievable display of unprofessionalism that I have ever seen. It's pretty much matched what happened last year with the Seattle New England game, where they just basically collapsed at the very last minute. That basically falls on the coaching here. Um, I don't know what else to say other than the fact is that the Pittsburgh the Steelers, who had led for most of this game, but actually until Rockenberger got hurt, and then all of a sudden you had the Bengals coming right back. They scored a touchdown with less than a minute and change left in the game, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, all they have to do is basically run down the clock, basically get one first down, and basically force Pittsburgh to take two timeouts, basically ending the game right there. And then you start seeing signs of one, poor sportsman like conduct, running the opposite of the field, and two, one of the worst flagrant fouls I've ever seen. It was no brainer. I know a lot of people's going to say, "Oh, it's part of a football game," but no, make no mistake about it. There's a clean hit and then there's a dirty hit, and there's no denying that it was a dirty hit. I mean, the guy was knocked unconscious, and you can tell when a person was knocked unconscious when you see the helmet look like it has twice the weight of the person's body, because his head fell flat on the floor, and I was very, very worried. But that didn't end there. You see the discipline when they actually got 15 more yard penalties. So basically, right there is, once they got the 30-yard penalties combined with those two, it was over. They was in field goal range, and you had to pray that he missed a field goal, but it was over. And I'm just saying to myself, and I'm watching this with a couple of friends at the house. I'm like, they gave this game away. They choked away the game. You just know, there's no other way to put it. This game, the Cincinnati Bengals had beat. No question about it. They won this game, and then they said, "Here, Pittsburgh, you can have it back." The discipline is unacceptable. And I understand one of the players went to Instagram to run his race against referee. You can't blame the referees for your lack of discipline, for your lack of for being a dirty player, because that was a dirty hit, and that's no other way to put it. Don't go up there and blame the referees. The referees did what they had to do, and with the way concussions is in the NFL lately, with the way the NFL has been looking like in terms of how they were dealing with the situation, the fact that you made that hit, and it was a blatant helmet hit way after the fact that the play was already over, shows no excuse about it. So the idea that you're going to go on Instagram and vent your rage, I don't want to hear it. All right. As for the coach, if he gets fired, fine, because frankly, the only reason is because he has no control of the players. He had shown no sign of controlling or the team showing any discipline. And that point, I do fall on the coach for that. But then other than that, let's be realistic. The real fault is the players involved. First of all, there was no need for them to run all the way down to the other field. What the hell was that all about? After they got an interception, all you need to do is get the interception, huddle, make a play, kill the clock, and that's it. But no, that's a kind of overconfidence that I do not respect one bit. And let's be realistic here. Let's be honest. The one rule I always go about when it comes to sports: the game is never over until the last minute says 0.00, and that's something that the Bengals have obviously forgotten. And in the stress of 1 minute and 22 seconds, that team with a injured Rosenberger, who was clearly wasn't throwing long, he was throwing small ball, managed to pull up probably the biggest upset I've seen so far in these playoffs. And it's not because they just roll them all the way back to the last moment. It's because number one, a team didn't know how to be disciplined enough. It didn't know how to be focused enough to actually finish the job. Think about this for a minute. Cincinnati has been under this head coach, been there 7 times, and all 7 times this team have lost. That is pretty much unconscionable to me. And to me, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen to this situation, but you better believe there's going to be some price to pay, whether it's going to be from the players or the coach, or a little bit of both. But to me, the Cincinnati has no one to blame for themselves. They have no one to blame for themselves for their loss. This was a textbook example of why discipline is very important in sports, and why stuff like that will always come back to bite you in the rear end of the end. And it couldn't have happened worse than the Cincinnati Bengals. The only people I feel sorry for is the Cincinnati Bengals fans who went out there and supported their team, who and had to sit there and watch painfully as this team just simply collapsed at the very last minute. With that being said, congratulations to Pittsburgh Steelers. You kind of worried about Roethlisberger's health. He may not be able to make the next game, which is a big factor. You got to hope that he can make the next game. So congrats to them. And also congratulations to KC. A victory they earned. There's no question about it. Houston, I'm a little bit disappointed. I expected more out of you guys. You didn't show up. It's no other way to put it. Fortunately, I had to talk about another team that probably had the worst choke, the worst disciplinary choke I have ever have witnessed. And you know what? It's right up there with Seattle. It's right up there with some of the major Jets choke debacles they have done. But my goodness, what a way to finish a game. And trust me when I say this, WFAN, a lot of sports radio shows have been talking about this. It's going to be talked about even after these next 2 games, which is today, by the way, gets to play on. But my God, I know, listen, Cincinnati fans, I know you're not happy, and you know what? I can't blame you. I can't blame you. I really can't. What's your feeling about the game? Do you have the same feelings? Do you have a different opinion on this? I'd like to know, especially for Cincinnati fans. But until then, J77, take care, be safe, talk to you soon. Bye bye.